Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is Salman Masood and you are watching the Concept Academy by Idea Solution. In the previous part, we have discussed about the functional component in React.js and we had successfully implemented the implementation of functional component and the application was like this. We had created a header component separately and we had created a footer component separately and we had passed properties to the functional component. And now in this video we will discuss about the class component. Okay, and we'll discuss that what is the difference between all these two component. But before starting this video, I would like to say thanks to Haja Muhammad Bilal for this wonderful logo. Thank you. I will drop his profile in description. If anyone want to have any kind of work related to graphics, you guys can contact him. ओके, डिस्क्रिप्शन में आपको एक प्रोफाइल का लिंक मैं डाल दूंगा, आप उसको कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं अगर आपको कोई भी ग्राफिक्स रिलेटेड कुछ भी बनवाना हो. सो लेट्स स्टार्ट द वीडियो. ओके, there is a header component and we have a footer component. Now we have to make a section component for the body of the web page. So I have to create a folder, new folder, that will be section, and in the section I will do the same thing which I have done in the header. I will add a new file name as section.js and I will add a CSS file related to this, section.css. Okay, fine. Now I will do what, I will just go to the header.js and copy all the thing and will paste it into the section.js, and I will replace this header as section, copy and paste. Okay, and I will remove all the HTML from here, and right now I will do what, I will make a div. Okay, and I will assign a class name as raw. Okay, actually we are willing to add bootstrap class, so let's check, do we have a bootstrap class in index.html? I think we had not included the bootstrap. Okay, fine, I already had include the bootstrap file. You have to do what, you just go to the any website bootstrap.com and you will get this online CDN. Just copy and paste in index.html in the head section. There is nothing new, not any rocket science. You just have to copy and paste the script and the link of the bootstrap. Okay, I already had done this, so there's no need to worry about this. So let's just come back to the section.css. So in the section.css I will do what, I will write a CSS related to section raw, and in the raw minimum height, sorry, I should not worry about the width, minimum height would be 700. Okay, reach, and now let's just check it. Okay, save it and import dash section.css, save it. Okay, control S and just write a paragraph for the time being. This is section, for the checking purpose I am doing this. And now I will come back to the app.js file. Where is the app.js? I will have to import the same thing, section, sorry, and between header and footer I will add section, save it, and let's check it now. Okay, perfect. We have a raw section. 700 VH is quite large. For this we have to reduce it to the just 300 VH, and let's just save it and check. Okay, fine. Okay, I want to reduce it more, not, I think 70 VH would be fine. Okay, very much good. Now, okay, now it's time to discuss about the class component, that what is the difference between class component and functional component. As we have discussed about the functional component, that functional component are the simple JavaScript function. They do not have their state. We can write a simple function as we used to write in the JavaScript. Here is an example of functional component. We just have a function name as header, and we are doing what, we are having an input name as property, and we are returning some HTML to show or make up a component. Okay, now it's time to understand about uh, class component, and we are going to implement it. Okay, let's just see the class component definition first. Class component are more complex than functional component. It requires you to extend from React, and component can create a render function which returns a React element. You can pass data from one class to other class component. You can create a class by defining a class that extends component and has a render function. So in this definition there is nothing special. It's just explaining us that class component are more complex then functional component. When you are willing to have class component, you have to extend it from React library, and component, the class component have a render function. You have to define a render function in a class component. This render function will do what, it will return anything like HTML or any React element. Okay, and the major thing you have to mark about class component is that class component is known as a stateful component because they can hold or manage local state. The difference between the class and functional component is state. Class component can hold state while the functional component cannot hold the state. ओके जी, तो आसान अल्फाजों में बात करें तो क्लास कंपोनेंट जो होता है उसके पास एक स्टेट होती है। आप स्टेट को कैसे समझ सकते हैं कि उसके उस फंक्शन का अपना एक लोकल स्टोरेज होगा, आप इस तरह समझ लें उसको, ठीक है, एक अपनी स्टेट होती है, जबकि फंक्शनल कंपोनेंट की कोई स्टेट नहीं होती। ठीक है, तो चलें इसको प्रैक्टिकली देखते हैं तो आसान हो जाएगा। एग्जाम्पल की तरफ चलते हैं। सो okay, we had this section, and now I'm willing to have a sidebar over here, and in the sidebar I will display a side list, and but the side list will coming from a state. So for this purpose I will make a stateful component to explain you, but we can do the same thing by using functional component, but for the time being actually the video is making about stateful component, so I will use the stateful component here. So let's just start it. So I will have to make a separate component for that, and I will make another folder, file, new folder, and I will name it a side bar, and I will make a JS file for this, a side bar, sorry, sidebar.js, rename it as sidebar.js, and I will have a new file, a sidebar.css, and this time I won't copy and paste from the functional component. I will have to write separate code for this. Okay, first of all I will have to write this import react from react and comma component from react, and I will write class and the component name aside bar and extends from component react dot component, and I will make a scope for this class. And as we discussed in the definition, we should have a render function. Okay, fine. Okay, we have to define a constructor in a sidebar too. Okay, in when you are defining a side a class component, a stateful component, you have to export it, export default and this component name over here. Okay, fine, the syntax is fine now. Okay, constructor. Okay, in the constructor I will define a state that is containing initialized data. Right now we will have a dummy data. In the future we'll get the data from the API. Actually many of the things are not being discussed yet. We have to discuss it in our later session, like component did mount, component will mount, API cycle, many more things are there, so you don't have to get confused. Right now just focus on the topic that is stateful component. So we'll just have a hard coded data over here. Okay, when you are defining constructor you have to write this super2. Okay, now I will this dot state is equals to this, and in this scope I can write anything related to state. So right now I am having an array, okay, name as data, and in this array I will write in few objects like name colon HTML. I have to define it in this way, comma. Okay, let's make it clear more, and copy and paste. Okay, this property also needs to be like this so it won't make any error. So let's just do it. Fine, copy and paste. CSS React ASP.NET and PHP, and let's just save it. Okay, fine. This is an array of all the technologies, and now I want to render it over here. So I will have a map function to display this data. So in the return function I will make a div class name is equals to colon dash sm dash 3, copy md dash 3, and here I will define unordered list. And now this dot state dot data dot map. Okay, there is some little confusion. Okay, I forgot to mention a method that is return. Okay, and the return will return all the HTML. So right now I am removing everything from here. Just remove everything. Okay, and in the render here return finishing. So I have to write the code over here. So I will do what var list is equals to this dot state dot data dot map, and in the map then I will write t arrow function and make list. For each list you have to define key to uniquely identify. Key equals to d dot name, copy and paste, and between this d dot name. Fine. And I will just copy it and paste between UL. It will show me the list over here. Okay, fine. My sidebar is completed. Now I will have to call it on the section. Okay, so I just come to the section and I will import aside from the sidebar. Okay, and I will call it in this row. Okay, sorry. And let's just save and check it. Okay, expected an assignment of function call instead saw an expression. There is a mistake I guess in aside var list. Okay, there was just an scope mistake, nothing else. Everything was fine. This line of code is defining that I am getting all the element from this state.data in this list, and it is iterating, the map function is iterating this data array and adding to the li element and saving it to the list, and then I'm just displaying this list into ul. And when I come back to this, you can see this is looking very fine. Okay, but it does not look like a sidebar, so I will do what, I will just copy the uh, css from any website. So just okay, this is the html which I got from w3 school, so I will do what, I will copy all the thing related to css and I'm copying it, and a sidebar.css, there is a file, I will paste it. Okay, and I have to import this css file, import from sidebar.css. Let's just save it from. Okay, and to this class name, okay, I will have to assign this side nav. Let's just check it first how it looks like. Okay, npm start. Okay, that's look fine. We'll CSS at our later session. The video is getting long, so thank you for watching. Thank you. Please subscribe to my channel and like, share and subscribe to this video. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.